Welcome to Fire Away, Seriously Funny Conversations, the podcast where we catch up on things that make us laugh and things that make us human. We are Matt Bays and Leslie Robbins, and today we are going to talk about Hollywood mediums, how to die,
obviously,
and girl fights. So let's begin. What are we going to talk about today? An update on World Famous. I sent that to Julie Lang today because she's texted me. I'm so excited about April 1st. And I just sent her that little clip of World Famous. I said, this is when Leslie was little and thought her dad invented cinnamon toast.
Oh, Julie.
I gotta say, Julie Lang is she is here for it all.
It's nice to have that type of person.
It is. Plus, she sent me a thing and said, just popped onto IG and had to tell you that you are very handsome. I can't wait for April 1st. And I said, well, I'll take that compliment anytime. You are so sweet. And she wrote, please, I am not sweet.
I am not sweet.
She says she's mean, but she's really a wonderful person. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's like me. I'm real hateful inside. On the outside,
usually people would say they just come off that way, but on the inside.
Right. I am dark. I have rage, but I typically don't show it.
You can't see it.
No, you will never see it. Let me be very clear. My kids refer to me as the killer of fun.
Really?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like, here's some examples. I don't want to go to a event where there's lots of people, like a bleacher situation. I don't want to climb over people. I don't want any of that. I want none of that. So I will get there hours early and sit my fat, happy butt and wait so that I am not climbing over people.
And then I bet you give people shit face when they're climbing over you.
I got to tell you this, and I don't know if I have her approval, but I think she'll be fine with it. My mom.
We'll ask for forgiveness later.
She'll be fine with it. My mom calls me last night.
Why are you giggling? You said bleacher situation.
Well, okay. So my mom calls and she says, Les, Tammy.
Mama Tammy.
Les, what are you doing? Are you home? Yes, I'm home. Where's Jared? That's my son. He's upstairs. Well, I need to talk to him. He needs to watch this game tonight because there is a boy on the team who is arrogant and he is egotistical. His last name is Kiss.
Okay.
I'm going to watch him tonight and I hope he gets teed up.
What does that mean?
Technical foul. Because as she says, he acts ugly.
Oh, yes. The Southerns love to talk about things. They use ugly for a lot of stuff.
Yes. So she called my 15-year-old son upstairs and gave him the spiel about this kid, whoever he was, with his bad attitude and how she wants him to get technical.
Right. But why does she want Jared to watch it?
Because she wants him to see an example of poor sportsmanship.
Oh, yes. Mama, looking out for her grandchild. Another reason I like this podcast with you is because it gives me a chance to speak Southern. Mm-hmm. I have that in my family, but I don't necessarily speak Southern. But my God, when I hear you talk, sometimes it just kind of comes back. Tell me why you're the killer of fun.
I don't like chaos. So like when I was a young mom and my kids were little, I had a friend, Courtney, and she would always want to go and like go to the zoo with our kids and go to like the children's museum or a play date to like McDonald Playland. And I would tell her, no, I hate that. That is my hell. Kids just running everywhere, out of sorts, no system, no structure. Not my place. That is not my game.
You can hear it, can't you?
I think people will come to love it. It'll be part of us.
They're almost done. He said that we don't have too much longer. We're just trying to get the caulk done. And it takes a while to get that caulk in there because it has to be real smooth.
And you're like,
Yeah.
You have to edit that out. We don't have ugly things on our podcast.
Ugly things. What was ugly?
It was a whole that's what he said or she said moment.
Leslie Robbins. I think you might be the gay man on this situation.
You walked right into it. The caulk has to get real smooth to get it in there.
Did I say that? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, shut up down there. Had it with that damn machine.
So, yeah, I just don't enjoy things like that. My anxiety cannot handle chaos.
Chris used to take his boys when they were like 3 and 5, 5 and 7, skiing. Both boys, just him.
No.
And would tell them, if you get separated, he would say, just wait at the bottom. Mm-hmm. That story stressed me out.
Yeah.
I was impressed that he was willing to do. Listen, I'm going to take my kids to a movie because here they are sitting right next to me.
Correct. I'm with you.
Or to a play place where they got them gated in there like wild animals. But I am not going to let you ski down a hill and then go searching for you while I got one up here. I would have been losing my mind.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
I couldn't have done that. But some people have that in them.
Right.
They're like, oh, this is fine. It'll be fine. And in almost all of life, I'm like, it'll be fine. But there are some things like that. Nah, can't do it.
What is your tattoo?
Which one?
That one.
This one says, I love you. When Chloe had her car accident, when she woke up, she grabbed a board to write something down. And she wrote, I love you. It's the first thing that she wrote, which I thought was so special. And I was standing right there when she did it. And I looked at her and I was like, and she shook her head no at me. She couldn't even talk and pointed at the nurse.
Thanks.
And the nurse was like, me? Not the one who's put a roof over her head and food in her belly and clothes on her back all these years. But I did think, oh, actually, that's really sweet that she did that. So I got it tattooed exactly as she wrote it on that thing. And then this circle is a little like my mom always drew a circle on us when we were growing up. It was her way of saying, I love you, love forever, and it never ends. She'll still do it. She's 79. We'll leave the house and we're in our car driving away and she's standing up on the porch, drawing a little circle with her finger. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, stop.
I know.
That's really sweet.
Lolita Gay.
We're not here to cry, Matt. No crying.
Oh, that didn't make anybody cry.
Yeah, I got a little emotional. That was very sweet.
Oh, see, you're not all dark inside.
Mostly, though.
Your heart's going to start growing. Your black heart. Okay, so you have to tell me about the Hollywood Medium that you've been binge watching. First of all, I don't believe any of it.
Why?
Tarot cards because it always feels like this to me. Is there somebody in your family who's died of cancer or has cancer? One of your friends that has a family member. Did you recently see a TV show with someone who had cancer or was like, it's like,
yeah,
yes. Yeah, we all have. Like, I feel like they find a way to find these super common things in there. I'm on to you, mediums.
I buy into it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yes,
I love it. I love Tyler Henry. He's the little blonde-headed guy that looks like Macaulay Culkin. And then I love the Long Island Medium. And I love John Edwards, Crossing Over. I used to watch that in college, and I would just be like, my mind was blown. And here's the thing. Even if it is just like fake, and somebody's just saying like, do you have a C name in your family? And did somebody die of cancer? Everyone that does it, that participates in it, walks away with like some type of healing. And I appreciate that. That is all. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's all a bunch of horse shit.
I'm surprised. I feel like you're like very like open-minded to that kind of stuff, like free spirit, and you're like not into it.
Listen,
Boo.
I think that God, whatever you conceive that to be, or the universe, whatever you conceive that to be, can use whatever it decides to use to change people's lives and to awaken something within people or whatever. But it feels like charlatans, snake oil salesmen that are trying to use somebody's sadness against them.
Yeah.
So are there people out there that can do this? Yes. I think that there absolutely are. There are people that are so sensitive to the world, spirit world, whatever, that I think it's possible that they are out there. But the thing that bothers me about it is that it's taking advantage of people who are in a weak moment or who are hurting. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, don't tell me I don't get pissy. Oh. Wait, do you hear that spirit, Leslie? There it goes.
I think that is a spirit trying to communicate with us.
Oh, yes, I hear you. It's saying to go into the light. There is peace. There is serenity in the light. Have I told you I'm writing a dirty book? Like a crotch novel. My next book is a crotch novel.
Oh my God.
Not really.
You have to change your name.
What?
You have to have like a secret name for those type of books. Yeah, I do
need a secret name.
What would it be?
Listeners, please send in ideas for my pseudonym for my crotch novel series.
I think it needs to be something like extravagant, like Geraldo.
Geraldo. I mean, your brain just goes to talk shows. Geraldo Rivera.
Right.
But remember that when he got his nose broken with the chair back in the 80s, and he was so glad. Still talking to people with his nose sliced open. And listen, he had a sizable nose. He was still like talking and like, look, we're all serious around here. And I'm still doing this because I care about the world. But it was just people throwing chairs over Aunt Debbie's second cousin's baby.
Is that what it was about? I couldn't remember what it was about.
I don't know. It was some of that, the shenanigans that go on those shows.
Yes.
Like you're just waiting for the fight.
I'm here to tell you that when I was a freshman in high school, there was a girl fight, and this girl grabbed this other girl by the ponytail and whipped her around. And I was right there in the middle of it, watching every bit of it. And I had never seen anything like it. And I've never to this day forgotten that whole experience of that girl just ripping that girl's ponytail.
Yeah. I could name two girls right now. I will not name their names.
I won't name names either.
They fought, and it was right after a class. This girl left, and it was a girl that I liked. And she was like known as this badass fighting girl. She walked downstairs, and I was following her down those stairs because I wanted to see what was going to happen. And these two girls started scrapping. And the girl that I thought was going to win was getting beat down. And I was horrified. It was one of the scariest things I'd ever seen. My heart was in my throat racing. Yeah. I don't know what I thought was going to happen walking down those stairs, but it was not that. Were you scared, or were you just eating popcorn and watching it?
I had no idea it was going to happen. I didn't know these girls. They weren't my friends. They were a little bit older than me. So I was just happened to be there when this girl came walking around the corner, and the other girl was waiting on her, and she was just taken by surprise. And that girl grabbed her ponytail and ripped her around. And I stood right in the middle of it. You know me.
Was your heart beating?
Yeah, I never heard like hitting on a face before and all that.
Isn't it the worst?
Never forgotten it. It's been 30 years.
I know. I can still see it. I can see one on the ground and the other one's face, like punching her right in the face, and thinking, my girl did not win. And if anybody from Elyria High School is listening, they might be like, wait, was that?
Same with my high school. If you're listening, I know you know who I'm talking about. And it is
really
forever etched in my brain as the best fight I've ever seen in my life.
So private message us, DM us, and ask us who it was.
Right.
We'll tell you. Yeah, that's scary stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say the last part was in the 80s. I don't know what show. It was like Montel Williams or Jenny Jones or Ricky Lake. Remember those?
I forgot about Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake. Yeah.
Sally Jesse, all of those talk shows that were like on right after school. There was this one psychic that was like on all of those shows. And she was an older lady named Sylvia Brown. Me and my sister to this day quote Sylvia Brown because we were so into it. But she always said that the dead people, spirits, drop coins.
What did they drop? What did she mean? They drop coins to let
you know that they're present.
Man, that was right up your alley.
Oh, and she had these huge nails. I think they were fake. And she would always scratch with one finger right on top of her hair.
Well, that's interesting. That is not getting edited out of this podcast, that she scratched her head with a long nail.
It was very specific. And I swear I will find a clip of it on YouTube and I will post it because she did. And it was everything. And I wish I could call my sister right now and be like, Sylvia Brown, what did she do? And she would say, drop coins and scratch her head with one finger, very dramatically with her acrylic nail.
I mean, this is so interesting. Hold on, listeners. We've got to call Rebecca.
If you remember Sylvia Brown, comment on that post when we post this episode. Guaranteed.
Oh, that thing just started. The beeping is about to start.
Okay.
Do you hear the beeping? Scratch your head if you hear the beeping with your big long fingernail.
The other thing was, do you know, like on TikTok, when they do those TikTok lives and they have like this, like they're holding like these wires. They're standing. Wire. It's like an antenna, 2 antennas in their hands. And then all they're doing is they're like, ask me a question. Ask me a question.
What? Oh, they're like a medium?
Yeah. And like the way that the antenna. Yes. The way the antennas move is like how they answer the question, how the spirit is leading him. I watched that for days.
I am not going to a medium, but a medium with rabbit ears, never.
I know.
Never.
I know.
But it's that. Like, and they this move. Is some sort of conduit for the spirit to come through.
Right. Oh.
Yes.
That's on TikTok Live. And that's another thing I can rant about. What on earth are people doing on TikTok Live? Like, people are just talking. I scrolled on one lady. She was asleep, snoring. She was asleep. And people were hearting it and liking it. And I'm like, what am I looking at right now? You are asleep on TikTok Live, snoring. What is the world coming to is what I want to know.
That's like the Truman Show. Right?
And I watched it 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, I was trying to figure out why on earth she would do this. So I was like watching all the comments and they're all saying like, we've got your back. We got you. And I'm like, what's happening?
What do they have her back for? Like, you go, girl, you take that nap.
I don't know, but maybe we should go live and just go to sleep and see what happens.
So here's what I'm going to do to get more listeners to our podcast. Here's
something that's for real. You know how like on Dax Shepard's podcast, it's called The Armchair Expert, and he calls the people who listen to him the armchairies. So like we need like a little name for our people. What can we call them?
Sparklers.
Ooh, yes. I think that's perfect. Let's just do that.
So we're going to call our 17 listeners, we're going to call the Sparklers.
Yep.
Yes.
I
did that.
You did it.
I came up with that right now.
It took no time.
And it just feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Water journey update with Leslie.
Leslie, tell us where you are on your water journey. I see you holding your big ass jug.
And I am 2 hours ahead of schedule.
Overachieved much?
Oh my gosh. So here, it's not really an update on my water journey. It's just something I've noticed about water, bottled water. I feel like Aquafina and Dasani taste different than any other waters.
They don't. No.
Dasani is has like a sweet aftertaste to it. Do you like Dasani?
No, it's like dessert.
Are you being serious?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I just feel like it has a weird aftertaste, and it's water, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's just what I'm noticing about water is water has flavor, I guess.
Yeah, so much flavor.
And shut up. And I don't like that brand. I just want a good old plain.
Out the faucet.
Whatever. Sure. I'll take it. But not Dasani. And that's what they give at McDonald's. And I don't like it. So I just order the orange iced drink instead. That's all.
On your water journey, how much would you say of your water is orange high C from McDonald's?
I'm just saying, if I go to a restaurant and they have Pepsi, then I'll have a margarita. Thank you. I don't like Pepsi.
Yeah.
If I go to McDonald's and they're giving me a Dasani water, I don't want that. I'll have an orange high C. Thank you. Mm-hmm. That's where I am.
And if they don't have orange high C, back to the margarita?
Back to the Diet Coke. If they have margaritas at McDonald's, a McMargarita.
Oh my gosh. That's how we could get podcast listeners. Yes. Who is it? Who is showing up this time? Now, see, if I was a dark person, I'd say, is it my dead sister? Is it my dead brother? Is it my dead father?
It could be. I'm not dark. I think it's awesome. What if that is Trina giving us
Trina is not coming in the form of a crane lift.
Well, is she going to drop coins?
No.
What's her way?
She's probably going to come through an 80s song or a really nice blouse.
Did you guys ever talk about that? When she was dying and you all knew this was the last few days, did you ever be like, if you come back as a butterfly? Oh
no, Trina did not concede that she was actually dying until about, maybe 72 hours before. Mm-hmm. Maybe 4 days. And it was a very short, because she was just living her life and talking about her cruise that she was going to go on in 8 months. Right. And we're like, And so you just kind of thought she doesn't really realize. And then she took me in her room one day and said, I want Steve Carney to do the funeral. She just started. Yes. And here's what I want to wear, and walked me all through it for about 15, 20 minutes. And we had a moment. I can't even get into it here. Sure. Right. It was so one of the most precious times of my life. Sure. And then we walked out of that room and we did not speak of it again. And all I thought from it is, I feel like this person was teaching me how to die, that I am going to live right up until the moment that I'm not living. Yes. I don't have to invest myself in that I'm dying. Trina is coming back to us. And she's coming as a blouse. There's one of these books by Nora Ephron. It's one of her biography, her storytelling. And I love it. I highly recommend it. One's called I Remember Nothing by Nora Ephron. And the other one is called I Feel Bad About My Neck. But in one of these books, she talks about her mom dying and how her mom, the last hour of her life, held her hand and said, watch me. And it was because nobody teaches you how to die. And she wanted her to show her how to die. Now, see, that's beautiful. And it may sound morbid, but the truth is I will go differently because of how Trina led the way. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because I think I would have done everything to ready myself. And now I just think, I'm just gonna live right up until I'm not living. Right. As best I can. Yeah. I'll tell you what, there is something that people that have watched other people die, you want to talk about mystical, those are the mystical moments of our lives that you wouldn't take anything for. Right. And that are so precious. And those are the times where I realized there's something more going on outside of our world. There's something more. As always, it always comes back to death. We try to keep it light, but we always go dark here. We do always come back to death. Because death is a part of life, and apparently it's a part of this podcast too. Yeah, we're dropping coins right here. Yes. Well, that's it for us today on Fire Away. We'll be back with more seriously funny conversations next week. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/podcastfireaway and on Instagram at fireaway_podcast. And fire this podcast off to a few friends.
Sounds good. Fire away.
Let the sparklers fire away. Let the sparkles come.